Shalom, this is a noob in Israel at Hebrew on the Island 2. Today's video is called The Negroes Are the True Aborigines Indians of the Americas. North America, South America, from the North Pole to the South Pole, all the Caribbean islands. Listen, when the devil, which you know are the heathens, apex are the Caucasians, when they started this lie trying to hide who we really are, which are the Hebrew Israelites. We're not African American, black, none of that. We are the Hebrew Israelites. When Christopher Columbus landed to the New World with his Hebrew translator, I wonder why he brought a Hebrew translator, because he knew something that you don't. The Mexicans and the Native Indians are not the original. They put them over us because to hide who we are, because they definitely didn't want us on top, but we are on top. Everything that was in the dark is coming to the light. Enjoy this video. This is dealing more with the Mexicans. The original Mexicans are Indians, are Negroes, who are the Israelites. Check it out.
But hopefully we can make it work. So I'm just going to play it. And we can read along, vibe out to it, however we got to do it, man. I'll pause it so people can read. I want to kind of go slow. That's kind of what I'm going to do. You know what? I'm not just going to play the damn video. The parts like this, that, you know, these articles is kind of what I want to highlight. So let's go quick with this. I'll just pause the articles and let y'all read it. To many, this fact of old black nations in America will be new, yet it is an important feature of American history. Alright, so he's calling this thing Gods of America. Dope, because he's kind of getting into, you know what I'm saying, some of the nitty-gritty. But the articles and what's been written, you know, these published articles in the 1800s. Here's how we can separate this, where we know if somebody's trying to fool us or not. We have to say, what's the agenda? All right, so when Darwin did his whole joint, he dropped it. He said, all right, you know, out of Africa, everything came, and out of Africa. So Darwin kicked that late 1800s, whatever the case is. Then we got movies like Roots, and we said, all right, we see us getting off of boats from Africa, so we gotta, you know, this is what I'm saying. When these Zionists, whatever you want to call it, this power, these entities are putting their money into an agenda, it got to be deception. Or else you got to just show me how these same deceptive people with these deceptive qualities suddenly aren't trying to deceive me right now when I need orientation the most. All right, so let's read it again. All right, to many this fact of old black nation in America will be new, yet it is an important feature of American history. So let's get into it. Okay, here we go. Get on the screen so you can vibe to it and read it. Play the music too. Everybody can see that. Alright, you see them statues? See what's going on here? So he's showing you the, you know what I'm saying, whether it's mainstream or minority reports of scientists that are in the minority, but this is what they're digging at. When they dig up the Americas, this is what they dig up. These are the type of artifacts and whatnot, and this is specifically speaking about Mexico. A lot of this is going to specifically speak about Mexico. Because when I say Mexican, everyone has their image. And again, it's saying, no, whatever the case is, we're trying to get the truth here. Sometimes truth is going to go through some real uncomfortable terrain. We got to battle through those emotions to get, if you're really in it for truth. So many brothers and sisters, no matter what shade you are, so many brothers and sisters are in it for truth until they have to look truth square in the face. And until truth somehow goes against their platform or what they stand for. So if they're just rocking Africa only, Africa everything, they ain't rocking America, they ain't rocking Australia, they ain't rocking none of that, but Africa only, Africa everything. Even though you got the indigenous Australians saying themselves they came from nowhere else, but are indigenous to the land of Australia. Yes, we know that some were taken there and they had layers of indigenous people, but we're talking about the original. All right, so let's back it up. So I want to make sure we get this red and clear. There we go. Okay, with regard to the Negro, C.C. Marquez says, in the corresponding description already given, may be noted that in the statues, which you just saw, which appears to be very ancient and are portrayed with singular attributes, are faithfully reproduced the characteristics of the Negro type. It is significant that this is not unique in America. So they're saying this is not unique here. We see it everywhere, no matter where we dig up in the Americas. Again, it is significant that this is not unique in America, but that this Negro type is also seen in the most ancient Mexican sculptures. No matter how far back they go, they see Negroid faces in Mexico. For a lot of us, that's our land. Mexico, South America, Peru. A lot of us were pushed up into the North Country. Some of us were here already. It wasn't as many in the North Country as it was in this, in the mainland of South America. It is significant that this is not unique in America, but that this Negro type is also seen in the most ancient Mexican sculptures, such as the great diorite head of H.O.I, and in the gigantic axe of Vera Cruz, which bear a striking resemblance to the statues already mentioned. Okay. Okay. All right. Let go. You always got some cool little music, man. Definitely gotta give him some props on the musical flavor. And I'll read his next part to you, then I'll just put it on the screen so you can kind of actually let me put on the screen first. I want you to read it first too, so you got this. Pause it, read it. You got it? Good. Asking whether this signified that America in the remotest epochs was occupied by a Negro race, he adds, this hypothesis is supported by the fact that the conquistadors found dispersed all over the New World small tribes which from the very first were considered Negroes. From the very first, we considered these people Negroes. Now, I know what you think, because I was thinking, all right, cool, Negroes. I don't see a distinction, you know what I'm saying? We are trying to unveil this thing, right? They came over here and they said you're all one group of people, and they put the title African American in the 70s on us. They gave us the movie Roots and all that stuff, right? All these slave ships and stuff, and we had to come from African slave ships. That's their thing. It's like they can't get off the ball, so their math has to fit. I can't take a train from here to New York, and then you tell me that there's a ball going like this. So the train tracks themselves will have to be allotted that curvature as well, right? So you're telling me that these people were curving their train tracks ever so slightly. I took a train from here to New York that's 3,000 miles. That means there has to be miles